Dalam rangka apa? Kalian kesini ada apa? Menghadiri acara apa? Pengajian. Temanya apa? Ada yang tahu temanya apa? Enggak. Oh, enggak tahu ya. Ya, alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim, pagi ini kita kumpul di sini dalam rangka membahas tentang tubuh kita ya. Adalah temanya Be Fit Be You ya. Dari makanan yang sehat akan apa yang kita makan itulah yang akan kita lihat di tubuh kita ya. Insya Allah Dr. Kennia yang akan mengisi, beliau sedang ada di parkiran ya, sedang ada di parkiran untuk mempersingkat waktu karena kita sudah telat terlalu lama, harus jam 8 belum datang. Oke, ya, untuk mempersingkat waktu ya, untuk yang duduk di belakang tolong pindah ke depan dulu. Ayo, pindah ke depan dulu. Oh, bajunya cuma selangkah, cuma satu kursi. Di barisan paling depan ini. Yang belakang sekali ada enggak? Tuh, yang enggak udah pada pindah ke depan. Enggak ada yang mau ke depan? Enggak akan dikasih itu kok, enggak akan hukuman, enggak dipanis. Oke, ya. Untuk memulai acara ini ya, bismillahirrahmanirrahim, kita sama-sama buka dengan membaca basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Selanjutnya adalah tilawah yang akan dibacakan oleh Ananda Fikri Wijaya yang akan membacakan surat Al-Isra ayat 9 sampai 15. Pada Mas Fikri dipersilahkan. Kita dengarkan sama-sama ya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna hadzal qur'ana yahdi lillati hiya aqwam wa yubashshirul mu'minin alladhina ya'maluna as-salihati anna lahum ajran kabira wa anna alladhina la yu'minuna bil akhirati a'tadna lahum 'adzaban alima wa yad'ul insanu bisyarri du'aahu bil khair wa kana al-insanu 'ajula waj'alna al-layla wan-nahara ayatayn famahawna ayatal layli waj'alna ayatan nari mubsiratan litabtaghu fadlan min rabbikum wa lita'lamu 'adada as-sinina wal hisab wa kulla shay'in fassalnahu tafsila wa kulla insanin alzamnahu ta'irahu fi 'unuqihi wa nukhriju lahu yawmal qiyamati kitaban yalqahu manshura. Iqra' kitabak kafa bi nafsika al-yawma 'alayka hasiba. Man ihtada fa innama yahtadi li nafsihi wa man dhalla fa innama yadhillu 'alayha wa la taziru waziratun wizra ukhra wa ma kunna mu'adzibina hatta nab'atha rasula. Sadaqallahul azim. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim, telah kita dengarkan sama-sama pembacaan surat Al-Isra ayat 9-15 oleh Ananda Fikri Wijaya. Ya, di situ Allah berfirman bahwa Al-Quran itu adalah sebagai pelindung, ya. Dan di situ diungkapkan bahwa kalau ayat yang terakhir Allah berfirman bahwa kalau misalnya kita berbuat baik, maka sesungguhnya perbuatan baik itu buat kita, dan apabila kita berbuat buruk, perbuatan buruk juga itu akan kembali kepada kita. Semoga yang membacakan dan juga yang mendengarkan semuanya mendapat rahmat dari Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim, Dr. Kennia sudah ada di depan kita. Kalian pernah ketemu? Pernah melihat wajah Dr. Kennia? Kan pernah ngisi ya? Pernah ngisi di remaja, belum pernah? Lupa ya? Dr. Kennia ini nama lengkapnya adalah Dr. Kennia Sulistyorini, lulusan Fakultas Kedokteran UI tahun 2006 ya, tahun 2006. Sekarang beliau tinggal di Doha, punya tiga putra laki-laki semua ya. Kemudian aktivitasnya adalah selain mengisi ini juga tempat konsultasi ibu-ibu kalau ada masalah kesehatan. Mungkin sambil menunggu modelnya, kita tunggu dulu sebentar ya, Dokter Nenya mempersiapkan laptopnya. Ini ya.
It's clear that a great many of us eat too much, and in response, a huge industry has grown up which advises
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you, everybody? Awesome. Well, I realized that some of you haven't seen me before. Is that correct? Okay. How old is the youngest here? Okay, 12. Okay. For the first one who met me, I'm Dr. Kennia. Actually, I was involving in teenagers themes, especially for the drugs and also campaign over health. So yes, maybe you will see me a lot next time in the future, inshallah. Today, have you known what is the title for today? What will we discuss? Be fit. Yes, that's correct. But before we start, I want to play a video that will make you aware why we have to discuss this. Okay? And let's see.
It's clear that a great many of us eat too much, and in response, a huge industry has grown up which advises us to consume more quinoa, pomegranate and fennel salad, and, as often as we can, kale and apple soup. But this is entirely to misunderstand why we start eating excessive amounts. It has nothing to do with food, and therefore trying to change our diet isn't the most logical place to focus our efforts. We eat too much because what we're really hungry for isn't available. Of course, it looks as if everything we could want should be to hand. Our supermarkets and delis are iconic temples of consumer society. Our restaurants spare no effort trying to satisfy us. Could sir or madam be tempted by lobster thermidor or a selection of regional vegetables drizzled with olive oil sourced from a tiny farm in the Pyrenees? It sounds nice, but if we could really choose anything, wouldn't we want a slightly different menu? For example, unstressed conversation of father, marinated in mutual forgiveness. Tenderized maternal love, suitable for those on a criticism-free diet. Ripe friendship, served on wry banter, accompanied by a side serving of affectionate teasing. Fresh conversation, liberally sprinkled with poignant anecdotes for two. Sexual appreciation with all the trimmings. Our sommelier recommends as the ideal accompaniment a glass of full-bodied Chateau Fantaisie, and for dessert, perhaps, a generous scoop and be heard and forgiven. We need help in calming down at key moments, reassured that we can for a tube of potato chips or biting into yet another burrito, that the problem doesn't lie there. We just don't know where else to turn, and there is at least a short-term satisfaction to be found. We eat too much because we hate ourselves too much to do ourselves the honor of looking after our bodies. Our tragedy isn't our unconstrained appetite, but rather the difficulty we have in getting access to the emotional and psychological things that would nourish our broken souls. The diet industry has latched on to the symptoms of our unhappiness, but not their causes, and therefore the solutions it offers can only ever be temporary and fragile. It can't make us lastingly thin because it's not engaging with what made us manically fat. A couple of 100 years ago, it was almost impossible for most people to find anything very pleasant to eat. Since then, a vast quantity of human ingenuity has been devoted to enticing the palate. We have succeeded beyond our wildest expectations, but in so many other areas, we've hardly begun to supply ourselves reliably with what we long to consume, which are, to put it plainly, understanding, tenderness, forgiveness, reconciliation, and closeness. We eat too much not because we are, as we brutally accuse ourselves of being, greedy, but because we live in a world where the shelves are still bare of the real ingredients we crave.
I would like to apologize for the unedited video. Actually, last night I tried to edit it yet. Okay, before we start, I forgot to make something. I want all of you to repeat what I say, okay? Now we will play about chicken and kitten. You know this game? No, okay. So make sure you repeat what I say. Okay? Chicken, chicken, kitten, 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 chicken. How many chicken are there? Wrong. One more time. Kitten, kitten, chicken, chicken, chicken. How many chicken are there? Not correct. Remember what I said. Repeat what I said. Chicken, 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 kitten, kitten, kitten. And now, how many chicken are there? That's correct. Give applause for the boys. Okay. Before we start, I want to make a short survey. I want you to stand up if your answer is yes, and sit down, stay still if your answer is no. Okay, so first, is there any one of you, do you like chocolate? If you want to say answer, say yes, you have to stand up. Do you like chocolate? You don't? All of you don't? Are you sure? The girls, do you like chocolate? If your answer is yes, you must stand up. Okay, so only few of you. Okay, the boys? Okay. Do you like fruits? Do you like fruits? Okay, good. Do you like durian? No? Okay. Yes, I'm sure many of you will say, ooh, because my own children also at home, if I bring some durians, they will say it's so smelly. What's that? But one of his non-Indonesian friends said that durians taste good, even though it doesn't smell good. Okay, thank you for your participation. Please give applause for yourself. Yes, thank you. Now let's continue with our topic today. Sorry. Okay, before we start, I want to know what is exactly the meaning of fit. Is there anyone can answer? Please raise your hands. There's any door prize? Okay. Is there anyone can answer what is actually fit is? Is there a no here? Just say anything. Yes? Yes. What is your answer? What is fit? Do you think is?
Exercising and balanced diet.
Thank you for your answer. What is your name?
Sheiko Halifa.
Don't forget after this show finish to get the door prize with Miss Eri. Okay, yes, that's correct. But actually, fit is condition in good health. But actually, it's not that exactly what it is. If we say fit, it means you are in a good health condition, healthy condition. But actually, what is health? Sorry? Is there who can answer what is health? Are you healthy? Yes? That's right. If you want to know if we are healthy or not, we must know what is the definition of health. Health is a condition where a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, according to World Health Organization, health doesn't only mean that you are fit in physical, but also in mentally. You know, the crazy people out there in Indonesia, a lot of schizophrenia patients out there in the road or in the streets, they are healthy in physical, but they're not healthy in their mind. And For also, some experts say that being fit or being healthy means the ability to adapt and manage physical, mental, and social challenges throughout life. I want to ask you, do you think healthy means that this person is disease-free? No, that's correct. What's your name? Rizky. Rizky, don't forget, Miss Eri, he will get the door prize. Yes. For example, like this, I want to ask you, do you know acne, pimples? Yes, acne. It's actually one of the disease that is being characterized in medicine for the dermatology. But for those who have acne, they still can go to work, they still going to go to school. Yes, so healthy means, it doesn't mean it has to be very, very free of any disease. But it could be small or not serious disease, but he can manage to have a routine life. So today, we will discuss about 5 topics. It's a healthy diet, being active for the second topic, a healthy weight, healthy behavior, and avoiding bad habits. First, we will go to the first topic, healthy diet. Before we start about healthy diet, I want you to see about junk food. You know junk food? What are junk food? Give me examples of junk food. Yes. What is the example of junk food? You will get the prize. You don't know? Who else knows? Yes? The black cloth? Sorry? Yes.
French fries, Pepsi, chips.
What's your name? Fikri. Don't forget Fikri. You get the prize. It's not from me actually. It's from your teachers. Let's see the video first. Sorry. Videos.
Junk food! Oh, it can be so delicious. Maybe even too delicious. Today, we're gonna try and answer this once and for all. Is fast food bad for you? Let's find out on today's episode of We've all been there. You grab a bag of your favorite snack and you start chomping them down. You chomp and you chomp and you chomp again, and suddenly, what? The bag is empty? What gives? As it turns out, junk food can be so completely addictive because, well, it was designed that way. That's right, food companies use some pretty sophisticated science-based techniques to keep us chowing down. All junk foods are trying to hit what they call the bliss point, or a perfect flavor that isn't too much or too little and keeps you always wanting more. The main way that companies manage to keep that flavorful bliss point is by adding one specific ingredient: sugar. And they add it to all sorts of foods you might not expect. White bread, salad dressing, ketchup, barbecue sauce, orange juice, granola bars, and spaghetti sauce, just to name a few. Every year, people become more and more aware how bad ingredients like sugar, salt, and fat can be when you have too much of it. As a result, junk food companies have tried to use less of the bad ingredients people are looking out for and replace them with other bad but not quite as bad options to make up for the taste. That lets junk food companies sell their snacks as low sugar or low sodium, making people think that they might be choosing a healthier option. So, is junk food actually bad for you? Well, if you're eating lots of it every day, yes it is. And remember, if a delicious salty or sugary snack sells itself as low salt or low sugar, that doesn't mean it's healthy. And now you know that junk food really is bad for you, no matter how good it tastes. Comment below if you have a question you'd like to know the answer to. And don't forget to subscribe for more episodes of Colossal Questions! Only on DreamWorks TV.
Okay, so the definition of junk food actually, according to its term, is like trash. Food full of calorie but no nutrition at all. Okay, that's our junk food. First, when we talk about healthy diet, first we will discuss about what is the best for drinking. Don't forget that water always is the best choice or the best choice for you're drinking. Why? Because water is the best way to fulfill your thirst, and then it doesn't come with any additive. Including preservatives, and also the sugar or any additional substances. But don't forget that milk is also important for younger children like you. I mean, maybe around below the 13 years old, you still need milk. For those who above the 13 years old, you can choose the low-fat milk. And what about the savory food? Do you think that if we talk about sugar, but if we talk about salt, do you think what it will happen to our body if we eat too much salt? Oh, Dildal's already answered that. Let's see why savory food or too much salt in your food is not bad, it's not good for you.
Why is too much salt bad for you? Eating too much salt can be bad for your blood pressure. Your kidneys help control your blood pressure by taking water out of your bloodstream. Salt contains sodium. Too much sodium in your blood pulls the water back in. More salt means more water in your blood vessels, and that means higher pressure. Over time, high blood pressure makes your blood vessels work harder. To cope, their walls thicken, reducing the space inside the blood vessels. Your blood pressure rises even more, and less blood may get to your organs. Blood carries oxygen and other nutrients around the body. Less blood to your heart can cause pain known as angina, or even a heart attack. Less blood to your brain can cause a stroke or a type of dementia. High blood pressure contributes to around half of heart attacks and strokes. Adults and children over 11 shouldn't eat more than 6 grams of salt a day. Six grams is a level teaspoonful. That's the same as 2.4 grams of sodium. Younger children should eat less. 3/4 of the salt we eat is hidden in ready-made food. They may not even taste salty, like bread and breakfast cereal. What can you do? Check food labels. Use the colour codes. Green equals low in salt. Choose brands with less salt. Some even have lower salt versions. Don't add salt when you're cooking. Add flavour with black pepper, herbs, spices and lemon juice. Can you spot salty foods? bhf.org.uk/salty-surprises.
Can you spot salty foods? Can you give me example of any available already food which you think contains too much salt? Yes. What's your name? It's okay. You can first. Who said nasi goreng before? Yes. What's her name? Najma, you will get the prize. Okay. She said nasi goreng. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Is there anyone here can cook by themselves? Okay. When you cook, what you usually put added to your cooking? Pepper, salt. Okay. Now starting from today, now you know that actually too much salt contains too much sodium. That means it will increase. Can you imagine like when you make experiment in school and then you put water inside your glass, and then if you put salt, there's a like different concentration. It will make the water come out from the cells, and that's what's happening in your body when you eat too much salt, and then the water or the blood vessels or the fluid come to your blood blood vessels, and it becomes more, you know, like when you have pipe or selang air, and if it's too much, it will give much pressure. That will rise your blood pressure. Okay. So next, after we discuss about the water, we discuss about less salt, and now we discuss about the fruits and vegetables. Let's see. Eating fruit and vegetables every day helps children grow and boost their fertility and can reduce the risk of many chronic diseases. Why? Because actually fruit and vegetables contains minerals, vitamins, and also become effective in antioxidants. You know antioxidants? They are substances that will reduce the risk for stress oxidation caused by free radicals. I want to know now, is there anyone here can mention at least 3 free radicals that you know? Is there anyone can mention at least three free radicals that you know? You know free radicals? No? You haven't learned that? Okay. The bigger boys, do you know free radicals? I'm sure you have heard it before. No? Not at all? Okay, after this you can browse. But actually free radicals are substances out there that is unstable in their particles. So they lack 1 electron as a particle. Okay, and then to become stable, they need to steal something else electron, which is our cells, and will cause our cells become unstable, and that's become stress. And it's like a chain reaction, and the instability of the cells in your body will cause the high stress oxidation level. And in the long-term period, it will cause cancers, chronic disease such as diabetes, any aging disease. Okay. So make sure you have at least 2 serves of fruits and 5 serves of vegetables. How much is 1 serve, you think? Sorry? 1 plate, is that correct? Which plate? Big plate or small plate? Small. Well, let me give you the correct answer. 1 serve, can you give me your hand up? 1 hands up, and then squish your hands. Can you do that, please? Raise your hands 1, maybe your right hands, and then squeeze it. Yes. This size, this big size, is your 1 serve. Your 1 portion that you need. Not you want, but you need. So if I said 5 serves or 5 portions of vegetables every day, that means you must have 5 of these of vegetables. So spinach, so like this, and then what else? Maybe broccoli, this size, for 5 portions. Okay. So actually, 1 person doesn't mean 1 plate, because everyone will find the biggest plate ever to make them full. Okay, and don't forget how to have fresh fruits available as your snack. Is there anyone here make fruits as their snack during watching? Your mom is? That's good. Very good. Boys, is there anyone here make the fruits as their snack? What kind of fruits? Orange. That's good. That's good. Continue that. Okay. And eat fewer snacks, because usually we eat snacks such as chips, what else? Fries, and you know, gorengan, bakwan, tahu. They are very yummy, but unfortunately they are not that healthy because they are fried. If you want it to be healthy, the tofu, you just boil or you just steam it. If goreng, if you fry it, then the oils, they are not healthy for you. Okay, so make sure that your snacks are not high in sugar or saturated fats. Soft drinks. Is there anyone here who likes soft drinks? Yes? Oh, that's bad. Why? Look here. This is the picture of sugar actually inside of that soft drink. This one cola, how many sugar cubes there? I cannot count it. More than 9, I think. And then this Pepsi or something. Oh, and this Sprite. It's okay if I mention the brand, okay? Just make sure if you drink one of these, I know that it's cheaper in the grocery store than maybe mineral water, maybe not much. Compared to juice, for example. So actually you're eating this much of sugar cubes every time you eat. Only one bottle. So it's like you're eating sugar in how many tablespoons are there? See? Can you imagine like that? That's what's hidden inside your soft drink. And what is the facts? It will cause the overweight, obesity, and increase the risk for cancers. Okay? And let's see. I'm sure a lot of ladies, especially here, who doesn't love dessert? Who doesn't love dessert? But we will see why everybody loves dessert. What's wrong with dessert or sweets?
There's been a lot of talk lately about sugar being bad for you, which is a bummer because sugar is the best, right? I mean, who doesn't like sweetness? You can hate on any other taste and it's totally understandable. Bitterness, sourness, saltiness, umami. Yeah, that's right, umami. Apparently it's a taste. And you know what? Not everyone loves it. But sugar, pretty much everyone likes the sweet, sweet taste of sugar. But now some scientists are saying sugar is toxic. Really, scientists? Couldn't you have just looked the other way on this one? We all know that sugar isn't the healthiest thing, but it's not dangerous, right? Well, it turns out, here's a sad statistic. For the first time in history, U.S. children are not expected to live longer than their parents. Why? A lot of it has to do with the fact that cases of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease are through the roof. There's another sad statistic. Today, 1 out of every 3 U.S. adults is obese. Not overweight, obese. 1 in 3. But what does this have to do with sugar? Sugar's been around forever, so why is it suddenly making us so sick? What changed? What changed is we dramatically increased the amount of fructose we consume. Fructose is the sweet stuff that's in sugar, and high fructose corn syrup, sugar's newer and cheaper twin. Fructose can do damage to your body in ways we are just beginning to understand. What kind of damage? Let's start with the nerdiest part of the body, the brain. Just recently, scientists discovered a hormone called leptin. Leptin's job is to tell your brain that your body's had enough to eat. Guess what gets in the way of that job? Sugar. When you indulge in soft drinks and junk food, your brain has a hard time recognizing leptin, so you stay hungry longer and eat more than you should. This causes problems with your pancreas. Your pancreas produces insulin, which helps regulate your blood sugar. The more sugar you have in your bloodstream, the harder your pancreas has to work. And an overworked pancreas can lead to bad things: obesity, metabolic syndrome, and type 2 diabetes. And when you consider heart disease and liver disease, both of which can be caused by sugar, then yeah, sugar is bad. Okay, cut down on the sweets, right? Not as easy as it sounds. High fructose corn syrup is now added to foods that never had sugar before. Food you wouldn't expect. In fact, a recent study found that 80% of the food items in America now contain added sugar. 80%. But, like a good raincoat, this trend is reversible. Educated consumers can change the way food is manufactured simply by making better choices. Food companies only make what we buy, right? So avoiding food and drinks with added sugar will force the food industry to produce healthier food and stop adding sugar. But we have to start now.
Okay. What do you think about the video? It's cool, isn't it? But I want to add one more thing, that actually sugar or sweetness that you taste actually will stimulate your brain to release a hormone that is a happiness hormone. It's called dopamine. So when you eat something sweet such as brownies, cheesecake maybe, and chocolate cake, you will feel, oh, it's so good, and your brain will memorize it, that it will give you a word or positive feelings, and what it will make your brain to crave more and more. So every time you feel like galau, you know galau? Okay. Galau, you know boys, galau? What is in English? Upset, what is it? No, like feeling blue. When you feel blue, and then your brain will memorize that actually to be happy you need to eat something sweet. That's why galau ladies usually go for some desserts such as ice creams, chocolates, like that. Because what? Your brain memorize it as something make a pleasure feelings. That's what makes it people hard to stop sugar. And the third topic is being active. Do you know who is this? Yes? Someone at home like this? Can you count how many screens? Laptop, iPad, your phones. It's too much screen time, isn't it? When I was young, we barely see small screens, because when I was young in Indonesia, not many people have TV, for example. And the TV itself is only contains the channel only TVRI. You know TVRI? You know what is it? It's like a national channel, and it's only news every hour. So basically we don't see screen too much when I was young. But unfortunately, for not different with you and my children, let's see this story first. How the extreme obesity can be caused by too much eating and less active.
You ready, baby? What you get me? I love food. I'm a junk food junkie.
When we go shopping for her,
He said he is junk. She said she is junk food junkie. I will ask you about this later.
And if you ain't got what she wants, she mad.
Go cook me 2 boxes. You want one, baby?
I bring her stuff because I know that's what's gonna make her happy. She loves food.
Baby, thank you.
That's been her biggest issue, period. She loves food.
When I start eating those foods, I can't stop.
That's not bad at all.
I love the way it all tastes. I love the way it makes me feel. It's my comfort. But I know the food is killing me. It seems the table was put on here. And it's keeping me from being a part of my kids' lives.
She don't lose the weight. I'm afraid this she'll pass. I'm afraid that I'm gonna lose my mom. I'm worried.
My kids are gonna come here and find me dead one day. The idea of that horrifies me. I need to do something fast, or that's what's gonna happen. I need to change, or I'm gonna die.
Actually, as a commercial of a TV show, I was curious as well whether she can escape of that condition or not. She said that she is a junk food junkie. Do you know what does it mean? What is it? What does it mean? You know what does it mean? A junk food junkie. You know what is junkie? Anyone knows junkie? Junkie is people who get addicted. So drug abuse, sometimes we call them junkies. So actually in her condition, she was addicted to junk food. And there's maybe some reason behind why she's always craving of it. Because she said that she loves the feeling when she eats. So there's perhaps some of less being loved, and she found that when she eats, she is so happy. It tastes good and it gives her pleasure feelings. Okay, so that's the sad story. But for you, I want you to know that being active, what is active? Active is regular physical activity. So not just mager. You know mager? What is mager? Why the boys? Okay, what is mager, girls? Males gerak. You just want to sit down like this. Yes, give me my phone. Like that. Give me the remote. Okay, so basically, mager is being inactive. Yeah, males gerak. Lazy to move. Okay. For you, young children, you need to be active at least 60 minutes of physical activity. That includes activities that makes you huff and puff. What does it mean, huff and puff? That make your breath faster, your heart racing more in frequency. So you need not just going to school when you walk slowly, there's no heart beating faster, right? So you need more activities like that. Maybe playing soccer or playing badminton. What else? Girls, what you like? Swimming, hiking, that's good. Basketball, walking but faster. Walking fast and then walk slowly and walking fast. And also don't forget, strengthening exercise is also what you need. Do you know what is strengthening exercise? Yes, what is it? You know, bodybuilding? Like this? Making shape of your body and exercise your muscles. Actually, by exercise your muscles, you increase the sensitivity of insulin of your cells. It will decrease your risk for diabetes. So not just cardio exercise, but strengthening exercise is also you need. Strengthening exercise doesn't mean that you have to go to the gym. You can do it by yourself at home. For example, if you don't have, barbell, you can use, like very big mineral water. You can use like that. 1.5 liter. You can use it too. So try to do it other than cardio exercise such as running. You know its name? Yes, very good. Okay, getting your sweat on, in fact, it will affect your brain very positively. See this? It will improve your learning skills, it will improve your memorizing skills, and also how to solve problems in your brain, because your brain loves exercise. During the exercise, your brain will release a hormone that is called dopamine and also some of serotonin. They are happiness hormones. So for the alternative of solution, if you are in bad mood or in feeling blue, you don't have to eat something sweet. You do exercise. I'm sure, inshallah, 100%, you will feel better. Try, okay? When you maybe you got less score than you expected or something bad happened to you that day, try to exercise. It will make you happier, trust me. And also, it will improve your immune system. So people who exercise regularly, they will get sick. They will less frequent get sick compared to people who never exercise. So the point is, switch off your screen at home. How much actually you need on your screen? How long a day? 24 hours? Not 1 minute. Yeah, less than 3 hours. At least 2 hours a day. Let's see. And you must break up long periods as often as possible. So if, for example, like you're watching a movie on your TV or in your laptop, 2 hours, right? Usually the duration. Make a pause for half hour and then walk just to drink something. At least you are active between your watching. Okay, it will give effect to your brain. And you can change or you can plan any range of active indoor outdoor with your friends. Maybe you can play with your friends indoor but playing games. Like me, when I was in Indoha, we have games. The games is for the girls, you know, bedak, powder talk. And then so if someone is losing the games, the girl will, yeah, it's like that. But this like make up the, what is it? Messy, make up messy. It was fun actually. So exercise make difference. It makes difference. For example, this for inactive person, they say 56% say they get barely enough good sleep. Only 56 say they have enough sleep. While for those who exercise regularly, it says 83% says they have good sleep. And don't forget this. Life expectancy, according to a research, that if you're inactive, your lifespan is less, and for those who exercise regularly, they have 4 years longer in their life compared to those who don't exercise regularly. It was a research, according to research. So the health benefit of physical activity is you will reduce your risk for dementia. You know dementia? Pikun, easily forget. But worse, even forget your house, forget your children, like that. It's common for all people because of the aging of your brain cells. Okay, so by being active, it will reduce dementia by 30%. And also depression, you can lower your risk 30% as well. And also will reduce your risk for diabetes, type 2, cardiovascular disease, and cancers. Yes, so too much benefits for exercise. Who is here already exercise regularly and what type of sport you like? Anyone? Swimming? Football? Football? How about you, the girls? What sports you usually do? Sorry, volley. And then? Netball. And then? Cycling, that's called. Yes. I hope you can continue, and for those who still haven't found what you like, try. Even though it's only jogging. Jogging, like walking around, it's fine. But at least you like it. I hope this video will motivate you to do running.
Treadmill. I Listen, this is a physical sport, and if you want it, you gotta go get it. You gotta play hard for it. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? Because if you quit right now, you ain't gonna never
Okay. How do you think about the video? Does it make you want to run? Yes, so starting from now, ask your friends to get along. Because sometimes it feels more fun if you do it with somebody else. And if you see it's climbing, anyone here ever climbing a mountain? I mean, really until the top? Okay, how do you feel when you reach the top?
Feel tired.
What else? The feeling when you see the view, the landscape at the top of the mountain. Which mount you go to? You don't know the name. In it's which area? Jogja. Kaliurang, no? Merapi, no? Bromo, okay. That's good. Actually, climbing a mountain, you will learn a lot of things. My husband loves hiking, but unfortunately not yet me, not yet. So what he said is during climbing a mountain, actually you're just not doing a physical activity, but also a spiritual activity. Is that correct for the one? How do you feel like there's a spiritual experience during climbing a mountain? Yes, because there were so many hardships, and then the track, sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's slippery, sometimes it's too high for you to climb. But when you're striving hard, it's the same like you're experiencing life. Life sometimes not always happy. There's also bitterness and sadness. Maybe after this you can ask during the summer holiday to ask your mom or your dad, I want to go hiking, please. Okay? Bisa di-close? Okay, next slide. I think it's the new topic. Healthy weight. Have you known the BMI, body mass index? Do you know how to count this? Your weight in kilograms divide by your height in meters square. If you count it, you will get number. For example, 24, 25, 23. Okay? And also there's a specific charts for you to analyze which are you in at this moment. For example, for the boys, if your BMI is 24 and perhaps your age is around 16 or something or 18, you can go to this chart and then you can find whether you're in green area or in the yellow and red. For the green area, that means you're normal. Also the ladies here. So basically, being an adult in weight doesn't mean like, for example, like me, you're thin, you're fat, no. So we have to see your BMI and then to know whether you are normal, underweight, or perhaps obese or overweight, you need to look at the chart. But unfortunately for the girls, sometimes girls make a comparison with the supermodels out there. You know, the supermodels out there who's very skinny, they are actually, if we count their BMI, they're not thin. But their BMI is under nutrition. So they're not healthy actually. You know the K-pop girls, girl band, you know how much they eat every day? One sweet potato for those activities, they have to practice dancing, they have to go here, there. And some of the artists, in fact, she said she only eats one apple on breakfast only, on morning, and then nothing. Have you ever tried like that? You will starve. But that's what they have to achieve to become like them they are now. Do you think they're happy? No, they're not. And it's not healthy either, only like that. Only one apple a day. And now we go to the fourth topic, healthy behavior. What are they? First, I want to ask, how much or how long do you sleep a day? How long? How long? The one in glasses? The back. How long you sleep a day? Sorry? Depends on what day. Okay, on weekdays. 7 hours. Okay. Who are in here more than 8 hours? Or maybe more than 9 hours? 10 hours perhaps? Okay, if you're very sleepy. Let's see how much is the normal one. Normal one is should be 8 to 10 hours. But for bigger boys, it will reduce, your body will need less sleep as you are getting older. In fact, the old parents or maybe the old people, they hardly sleep more than 4 hours. They just cannot sleep because their body doesn't need that much. Compared to babies, they need sleep a lot. So sleep will help your ability to listen, concentrate, remember, learn, and problem solving. So remember, guys, if you watch your favorite show in the night before, it's normal you hardly to sleep in the next hour after it's bedtime. Why? Because the screen affects your brain. So don't forget, because I noticed that nowadays the teenagers trends, they are sleep very late because of watching. Because my niece also do that. And we always, asking them, stop watching. But she's not sleepy because she continues the pattern. So the next day she will be very sleepy in the morning. And that's not good. So sleep allows your body to repair itself. When you're feeling tired, actually there's like virus or infection, you need sleeping for your body to heal itself. So how to sleep well in the night for teens? First, make a pattern. Wake up always in the same time and sleep in the same time. And then do some physical activities. If you hardly sleep, that means you are not that tired. But not like now. Maybe you're bored or something. It doesn't mean that you need sleep right now, so I need to sleep. And then don't forget, avoid coffee. Who likes coffee here? Oh, I see. because I don't like coffee, actually. Coffee contains, what is in coffee, do you know? Caffeine, you know the effects of caffeine in your body? Keeps you awake, keeps your brain, and also it's higher your risk for cardiovascular disease. Sorry to say. Okay, sorry to say. But bad side is that now the world or the industry or food industry make drinking coffee as a trend. If you see any Instagram in younger or your age in Indonesia, they always post, you know, going to this cafe, drinking this type of coffee, latte, espresso, blah, blah, blah. This becomes trend. But if you ask, how does coffee taste? Bitter. It's not that good. So that's why I'm also wondering why people love coffee so much. So remember, do not drink coffee or avoid coffee or perhaps tea as well, because tea also contains caffeine. So not too much, even though the concentration is less than coffee. So avoid drinking coffee at least 2 hours before bedtime, and avoid watching your screen, maybe 1 hour before bedtime. And don't forget to keep up vaccinations. Is there anyone here still go to the vaccinations? Oh, very good. Maybe your parents concerned about health. But actually you, even though you're not baby anymore, but you still need vaccinations. It's called booster. Booster is the third or the fourth dose of vaccination to make the vaccination operate well, working well in your body until your entire life. Next, toothbrush. How many times you brush your teeth? Two, morning and? How many actually we need for being a healthy, have a clean oral? 2 to 3. What did you say? After eating? Okay, let's see. Boys, how many times you brush your teeth? Are you sure? Sometimes finish. My son's like that. How come you already finish, you brush your teeth? You just go inside. So at least you need so you can do more than 2 times. 2 times, and for 1 time 2 minutes. Actually, we will see the video how to brush your teeth properly. And don't forget to visit your dentist at least once a year. And then floss. Who is anyone here floss their teeth? 1, 2. Boys, flossing your teeth? Nobody? Oh, doesn't allow you. Well, actually, flossing is good because your toothbrush, if you don't do it properly, the food is still there, still left. Because your teeth, especially mine, for example, I have so crowded teeth. So sometimes, even though I already brushed my teeth, there's still some food left over, even though it's only tiny. But the bacteria is still there. And they will grow and grow if there's still leftover food. My niece, she barely brushed her teeth. So that's why when she is now 17 years old, she always went to dentist. Because the cavity. Let's see how to brush our teeth properly. Here we go. There's no salt, so now I will explain. So this is your mouse. Wait. It's a commercial. So I actually make an angle 45 degree and then brush. And do the brush including your gum as well. So gum and teeth, both of them, not just your teeth. And then for each side, outside, down, inside, also the same for the below teeth. For each side, you need to do it 20 seconds. It's long, right? So like this. 1, 2. It's only one side. 3. Have you ever seen a movie like Korean dramas or cinemas, Hollywood movies? When they brush their teeth, they go to the outside of the toilet and talking. Why? Because they brush their teeth very long time and that's the correct one. So that's why it takes minutes maybe for one side of this part. So both, if there are 4 parts, that means 4 minutes at least for them to brush their teeth. Okay, next we will discuss about bad habits. What are they? Familiar with this? Is there anyone here always listening to earphone? I'm sure you heard one of the accidents in Mesaid because someone died because of cycling and while listening to earphone. So there's a car, maybe already give horn, but so it's dangerous. That's why I also sometimes wondering why people crossing the road and still do like this, and we're the one who drive behind. The people will get like, why he's not moving? Yes, so actually in US 46% of teenagers show signs of hearing loss. You have to control, you have to go to the doctors for this, because perhaps the problem was not just that. Perhaps you need to clean, irrigation your ear, but not by cotton buds, not by that. Because actually sometimes if you don't do it properly, you will only push the dirt inside more. Yes, so you need to do to the doctors. And then avoid to use earphone, and this a lot of teenagers say, 78% say they hear loud music even though they're using earphones. And I was wondering why, even though you why you always want to listen to music? It's fine, I know, but why until usually people who is wearing headphones, it's while they go to grocery, while they go to school, you just take it off. It's not time for music, right? Perhaps because this person addicted to music. Because music, maybe your teachers, Ustazah will explain about music. So, no more earphones. So, promise me, okay? No more earphone. Just if you want to listen to music, just turn it on loudly enough for you, not until everybody hear. And then we will discuss something that you must stay away forever. What are they? What is it? Number 1, smoking. Is there anyone smokes here? Boys, you smoke? Not one time, ma'am. You smoke? I'm sorry for the gentlemen behind you. I will discuss about smoking here. So in Indonesia, Khor Remaja or young smokers increasing 3 times. I'm not sure which years is it, but I'm sure it's more, because a lot of, if you see the YouTube videos, a lot of primary students even they already smoke because their parents smoke. Even mommies now smoking, right? Mommies. In US itself, according to CDC, 3.6 million of middle school and high school students in US smoking. So it's quite big numbers. And what is inside the cigarettes here? Actually, more than this. Cigarettes contain more than how many thousand poisons? No, I mean one cigarette contains how many poisons? How many kinds of poison? Can anyone guess how many poisons? Boys? One cigarette contains how many poisons, boys?
No.
You just guess. Not 12. No. More than 7,000 of poisons. Yeah. So it's more than 7,000. Can you imagine? It was inhaled into your lung. I'm not sure why people doing it. Because it doesn't taste good either. Just ask people who knows the best way to live their life. It will taste nothing, not good. Different if you over chocolate. Everybody will say it's good, right? So basically, the cigarette will contain this arsenic is what's in the rat poison, and then there's also acetone in the nail polish remover. So it was all inhaled, and imagine if this person smoked next to their family. So the children will inhale it. And unfortunately, sorry to say, but the secondary smokers or people who inhale the smoke, but they do not smoke actively, the effects of smoking for their health is higher risk compared to the active one. Yes, that's reality. But you know, when I was in Indonesia, when I said to one of the smokers in Angkot, "Excuse me, can you stop smoking?" What did he say? "If you don't want to smell this, just go out." Yes, a lot of people know like that. And even I do some debate with my cousins about smoking, and he said, "Can you imagine that we are actually victim of commercials?" He said that. He's already 30 years old with family. He said that, and I will answer, but unfortunately I didn't try to because I'm worried we will fight in the group. And then for me, everybody also watch the commercials, but it's everybody choice as well not to smoke. My husband doesn't smoke. The same with you. What's the difference? I have a cousin who is a pilot. He was always ordered by his seniors to smoke, but he can. He can stick with his choice not to smoke. Okay? So boys, if somebody else smoke and overuse smoking, for example, like your friend, your, what is your hanging out friends, your higher, maybe like, you know, like there's a rank between friends, like gangs, overing you, or maybe somebody else who you respect, just politely say, what do you say? Politely say, if somebody asks and offer you smoking, what will you do? You will say, "No, thank you. I choose to be healthy." Okay? Okay, next. So basically, here, but I cannot mention because it's only small of so many bad effects of smoking. Okay, it will cause infertility, it will cause cancers, it will cause death. And what about this? Anyone know what is it? Oh, everybody knows. How do you know? In here. Where? Oh, in Qatar or not? In Qatar. Your friend do hear this? What do you think is safer than conservative cigarettes? Do you think it's safer? Why do you think so? Yes, it's only commercial, but in fact, the reality, 63% of the person who use it doesn't even know that it always contains nicotine. The one that people hardly stop smoking is the nicotine addictive. Yes, so it's the same. In fact, some people say, "Oh, I want to vape because I will try to stop my smoke habits." But actually, it did not reduce your frequency smoking at all. Yes, so it's not true. It's only commercial because now a lot of industry of cigarettes is being pressured a lot by the health people and also some activists. So they want to make more money in something else, but it's also the same thing actually. Okay, so when you want to stop smoking, basically you need to do 4 Ds. When you want to or craving to smoke, for those who find difficulty to stop, delay. Try to hold for a while, it will pass. Okay, and then drink water, and then deep breathe, and then distracted by doing a lot of activities, fun activities. I'm sure you will forget about your craving, or change your routine if this routine is make you smoke. For example, like this. For people who smoke after meals, they said my tongue feels bitter if I don't smoke after eating. But everybody eating as well, and nothing happens. But so you can change after meals. You can have a cup of tea or milk or anything or drink, and change the routines into something else. Okay, so this is what's happening for smoking. This will happen. Your lungs will shrink. Shrink. Normally, for you to get air, you need to expand your lung so the air can come inside, the oxygen. Now it cannot. Second, have you ever tried this? Are you sure? Very good. For girls, boys, have you ever tried this? Do you know it's one of the alcohol? Even though it says, yes, it's beer, but sometimes they say, no, it's not beer, it's just drinks. Some people over you like that. So remember, it's haram. This is what will happen to your body on long-term effects of alcohol. It will make cancer on your mouth, throat, and larynx, and also it will damage your brain. When I teach about health as a doctor, almost all dangerous disease, almost all disease, the risk is alcohol. You name it. Diabetes, the risk of it, alcohol drinking. Cancer, the risk of it, alcohol. Heart attack, the risk of it. Stroke, the risk of it, alcohol. So if you drink alcohol, it's like you make higher risk for all disease. Yes. Yes, that's correct. Some people say that they drink alcohol to relieve stress. Yes, because the alcohol will give effect to your brain, because they have chemicals that make your brain feels calm at the moment, but not after that. So there's an effect of it. You know what happened in Korean drama? What happened when they feel upset or they have problems? They drink. Do you think it will solve the problems? The problem's still there, but you become drunk? Yes. Okay. So actually, it's culture, and you need to stop it. So if anyone here, I'm sure because you are in the international school, some bigger boys, they have birthday party and they provide alcohol. It's in Qatar. Yes, but they make it. I don't know how, but they make it. So boys, even though your parents were not there, and you think Allah doesn't know, Allah knows everything. And I will remind you, it's the same with you harming your own body. Okay? So, next one, the third one is drugs. Drugs, now the one thing that is famous and popular is weed. You know? Weed is marijuana. Here. It's the most common of drugs that is used by young people, by teenagers. Drugs actually contains chemicals that will affect your brain they will release a temporary happiness hormone which is stimulated not naturally. If it's stimulated naturally, it's like you win an award or something good happened to you, you feel happy, right? It's naturally. But drugs will make you happy unnaturally, not naturally. And it will give bad effects after it's finished. That's why a lot of artists and celebrities in any world, they take drugs because to calm themselves or to make hallucinations so they can imagine or make very amazing artworks like that. But after that, they'll become addicted, and so many disease next to it. So this is common side effects. Actually, there are too many, but I am too tired to mention them all. But basically, it will damage any organs you have, heart, brain, liver. You know, cirrhosis. Cirrhosis. What is cirrhosis? Liver. Your liver will shrink into very small. So the symptoms of the person who have this cirrhosis liver, they will become yellow. They always vomit. Because what? Because their blood is very dirty, because the liver cannot clean them anymore because the function is broken. So basically, our message today, fight addiction but not the addicts. You need to help them. And the last one is sunnah. What is sunnah, Rasulullah? To become healthy, praying on time. Why? During azan time, when the sun is positioned in the certain position, actually there is particles and ray and lights which is we cannot see, and it affects our body and hormones. By doing salat prayer, actually we are improving our own health. This is based on science. And do salat tahajud. Why? Because tahajud, when you do the tahajud prayer in the last third of the night, during the last third of the night, your body will release a hormone which is called, I call it sakinah hormone. It's my term. Sakinah hormone is serotonin. It will make you happy, but not that happy. You know, for example, like this, you know, celebrities, they have everything, right? They always go to party. They're happy, yes, but why they still have suicide? Because they don't get the happy that I mentioned. Sakinah, happy. Sakinah means you're calm. Sakinah, for the most easiest to make an example is like in your family. When you stay at home with your mom and dad, you feel calm. That's sakinah. You don't excitedly happy, but you're happy enough. So there's no suicide feelings or any mind's thoughts about it because you feel calm. Okay? And during tahajud in Indonesia, one of professor have a research on pesantren, and then he asked almost 200 of santri to do tahajud regularly every night until months, and then their blood was being tested in the lab, and it shows that those who still do tahajud until the next 2 months have higher serotonin levels and lower cortisol levels, which is called as a stress hormones. So those who do tahajjud regularly, less stress than those who don't do tahajjud. Next is fasting. As you know, the last 2 years I made a Ramadan series regarding what are the research according to medical scientist research about the benefits of fasting, and it's amazing. Why? The Sunnah Rasulullah who asked us to do not just Ramadan but also Senin, Kamis, Saum, Monday and Thursday, and also Yaumul Bid in the middle of the month of lunar month. It improves our health by reducing the risk for cancer. So fasting reducing the risk of cancer. And also the fasting is reducing the aging process of your body. So people who fast oftenly in the proper way will look younger. Yeah, it's true. And also don't forget to dua to make you health. Okay, so the conclusion is eat a healthy diet, don't forget, avoid junk food, being active, do exercise and try running. Ask your mom and dad, I want to go hiking this summer. Maintain your ideal weight. Search in Google about BMI charts for young people. Okay, then you must find if your status is overweight, you must
all his life. so he can't even walk or talk. Lactose intolerant, Abdurrahman can't digest normal milk. Before the war, the milk he needs was widely available. But his condition now is life-threatening. It's not just the villages that are struggling. This war has forced 600 hospitals to close down, and lack of supplies has pushed this central hospital. Children are the most affected by malnutrition. Here, hunger has left 1.5 million children starving. This is 4-year-old Shuaib. His grandfather brought him here with fever and diarrhea. Malnutrition has meant his immune system isn't able to fight a simple infection, and severe shortage of medicine means the antibiotic he needs isn't available either.
The antibiotics we have will not treat the type of bacteria that he is suffering from. All we can do is provide health care with the supplies that we have.
The hospital is overwhelmed with children, but in some cases, malnutrition has turned into outright starvation. Salim is 8 years old.
Yes, she is 8.
Once able to play and talk to his brothers and sisters, his mother says, although he's alive, it's as if he's no longer here.
I never imagined I would ever see a child like this in Yemen. This boy is starving. It scares me that it may be the beginning of a famine.
According to UN figures, there are now 370,000 children with the same level of malnutrition as Salim. 4-year-old Shuaib's grandfather tells us his condition has taken a turn for the worse.
He just had fever and diarrhea, and because they didn't have his medicine, he passed away.
Back in the village, Ashwag has some good news. After 6 days of phone calls and negotiations, Ashwag managed to import his life-saving milk.
You've made me so happy and filled our home with happiness. I hope I can do the same for you.
Poverty has always affected Yemen, but now there's a risk of losing an entire generation. Nawal al-Magafi, BBC News, Hudaydah, Yemen.
So, sorry. Once I had my sons or my children got diarrhea, fever, and also diarrhea. But luckily, because they're healthy, only by the infusion fluid, and everything was fine. But as you can see there, here, we sometimes even throw food which are left over. Let's see how the children in US being asked about the hunger that exists in other places.
Do I touch it?
Yeah, go ahead. What is it?
Alright. What's your favorite food ever? This is tough. Salad, mac and cheese, pancakes, and popcorn.
My dad's steak.
Pizza. So good.
What food do you dislike most?
I hate cheese. Vegetables. Spinach. Tomatoes.
What's a face you make when you eat raw tomato?
I don't eat it at all. What do you do when someone gives you food you don't like? Play with it until it got cold. I'll say, hey, what's that? They look that way. Right, because if it was gross, then why would I want to eat it? Did you know that 1 out of every 5 kids doesn't have enough food to eat? 1 out of 5. 1 out of every 5 kids.
Can you turn the bag around and look at the other side?
Oh. I didn't know it was in America. I don't know what to say to that. Makes me feel bad. Makes me want to cry. Wow. That's a lot of kids. It's kind of unfair because some people have too much stuff and some people have too little. For me, I always get to eat lunch. And if that's a meal that I'm missing, I would feel very disappointed. It makes me feel like, what are we going to do to fix this? What is something we can do to help fight hunger together?
So over there we have a wall with tons of ideas, and we want to add your idea to the wall.
Kid could think, oh, that's not possible, or oh, I'm too young to do this. But it is possible, and you're not too young to do it. Donate money as much as I can. Make Thanksgiving every day. We should all get a group and try to find the foods that would be easiest to give. And we can take the food to homes where they don't have food. That's a small way to have a big effect. Post videos about children not being able to eat. Everyone brings canned food and they build a big fort. And then they donate all the canned food. And then they can have everything for free. If there was some machine that could make food, my machine would change it to 0 out of 5 kids being hungry. The tiniest ripples make the biggest waves. If all the kids in the world got together and did something big, they could impact the whole world.
So, what will you do? What will you do, guys? What will you do now, since now? First, you eat healthy food and don't left the leftover food, or maybe you can manage it, use it again. Because sometimes me as a mom, I oftenly throw food, which is perhaps in other place they really need the food because they're hungry for days, they didn't eat anything. And actually we can do something. I will show you the link later. So it starts from you, okay? Start from you, young people. And here is the one of the organizations that, you know, Waha. No, they have Instagram. You can follow them. This Waha is an organization where we can donate our food, and sometimes they cooperate with one of the food festivals in Doha, for example, and they distribute the leftover food to the workers, for example.
This year's Qatar International Food Festival is bigger than ever. This year, our volunteers are here and we went around raising awareness about Tema and Waha and our presence in this festival, and we distributed containers to the outlets which got surplus food. And towards the close of the day, what we do is we send our volunteers around. They collect all the surplus food and we bring it to the tent we have here for Tema and Waha. From this tent, Tema drivers and the vehicle take the food and go out to various parts of Doha and distribute the perfectly good meals we collect from these festivals to people in need.
So this Wahab, actually they accept volunteers. For example, in summer they have programs cool water. So they distribute the bottled minerals and to the workers who is working out there in the very hot heat. And then they need people to gather it, to give it and distribute. They need volunteers. A lot of commoners can be volunteers there. Okay. So basically for today, I need you more to evaluate or reflections on what you already have. Your risky is what you eat, but the leftover food is not your risky. But Allah already said in one of the hadith that our risky also there's somebody else risky inside, in there. So we need to share and try to choose healthy choice. Why? Because you're the one who will live your life. Do you know what happens to the old people, the adults, rich adults? They have much money, but they cannot eat what they want. Why? I want to eat this, I have hypertension. I want to have that, I have money, much, I can buy 5, but I have diabetes. My blood sugar will rise. So don't do something that you will regret later, because money can buy anything, cannot buy anything. Okay, the greatest wealth is your health. Your health. If you're sick, a lot of people sick, they pay millions, billions dollars just to be healthy. So while you are healthy now, Allah already make you healthy, because a lot of children out there who got leukemia, who got cancers very young age, is what being destiny, their destiny. So it's now take and make a positive and healthy choices. Okay, everybody. So from here I will stop. Is there after this questions or? Okay. Is there anyone here who wants to ask any questions or wants to share? Have you ever seen, this is out of topic, have you ever seen here in Qatar the children looking for clothes in the, the place we put our second or used clothes? Have you ever seen children looking for clothes like that? Oh, you haven't? Me have here in Qatar. So there are, because now maybe a lot of unemployment, right? The father will take one of the children to find still proper clothes in the places like that. And me once, sometimes I found a guy looking for something in the trash can or trash bin or something like that, to looking for anything they can use later. So actually out there, a lot of people unfortunate, not like you. Okay, so this time I need you to more make sure that what you have now, you can also share into somebody else. If you buy food in canteen, if you're not that hungry, you can save. I can give it to maybe donation by the Qatar Charity, or Qatar Charity and other donation groups have a very various options. You can give, you can make water to make well in Africa. So you can donate the money and they will build the well from your money. You can choose that. Or you can, you want to donate for hospitals, for the people who are in the war. So many options. So maybe you can save your money, your pocket money. Need, for example, one sandwich. I think that will be enough for me. That's my calorie, for example. So you can save the rest and donate at the end of the month to the charity. Promise me, okay, everybody? Okay, is there anyone want to ask questions? If there's none, I will ask the questions. Okay, let me ask, yeah. What is the most popular drugs? The name? Yes, Mariana. What's your name? Thank you. Faiz? Why you don't want to mention your name? Okay, Faiz get one. Who else before the one who answered? Also the girls. The girls? You and the gray? Ada lagi yang belum? Okay. Ada berapa lagi, Bu Eri? Okay, still many prizes means more questions from me. What is the normal length of sleeping normal for teenagers? 8 to 10 hours, correct. And then, can you explain to me how to count BMI number, BMI score? Yes, the one in batik. Brown, yes, you. Okay, that's correct. Very good. Ooh, that means he's watching. Pay attention. And then we have 3 left. Okay, the other 3. What is the name organization to do that food in Qatar? Yes, what do you say? Nothing? Okay, want to answer? Okay, the one in the white, the black stripe. What's your name? Who? Norman. Okay, Bu Erin for Norman. And then where is Nesha? Nesha got this prize because she's the first one who come here. I don't know, but Miss Eri said so. Okay, there's still 6 or 7, but the last 6 will be in photograph here. How long maximum screen time for you? You, the one. 2 hours a day. Okay, you got 1 prize. Can you come forward, please? Can you come forward? Thank you. Okay. Mbak banyak banget dong dari namanya. Ini berganti di apa ya? Jadi aku suka nyari pertanyaan banyak. Oh, enggak, apa namanya dulu. Tadi yang diklik itu kan. Okay. I played a video about the malnutrition children before. Can you mention the country the video was? Yemen. Okay, that's correct. Sorry, you're not lucky. Can you move forward because we need to take photo? Okay, you will. Can you sit here, and then. Di depan dulu bentar. Okay, can you mention one of the sunnah that we need to do for healthy body? Yes, no, the white shirt. And then at least 3. Can you mention at least 3? Fasting, tahajud, and then or any you can mention any sunnah. Yes. Salat on time. Yes. For boys, you need to do salat in masjid. Can you move forward? And then, can you sit here? And berapa lagi? Okay. Can one of you mention what is the effect of smoking? Smoking, can you raise your hands? Yes. Cancers, they're correct. Can you move forward? Cancers, what else? Cardiovascular disease, heart attack. Okay, the next question. Can you mention the effects of drugs? What happened? Effects of drugs. Okay, that's correct. The lung gas smell is fine in any drugs. Can you move forward, please? Jadi berapa? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 lagi. Hah? 3 lagi. Tadi ada yang 1 di sini. Duduk sini, sayang. Oh. Terus? Oke. 2 lagi ya. What do you remember the name of the disease where your liver becomes shrinking? No, your liver becomes shrinking. Yes, correct. Cirrhosis. Can you move forward? You're very smart. Cirrhosis. Cirrhosis. Okay. The last one is can you mention just one poison that exists in one of the chemical that make addictive in smoking and also exists in the e-cigarettes? No, the one that make addictive. Yes, nicotine. Can you move forward? Thank you, guys. You're very good, excellent. We will take photos because there's a message from the sponsors. Yang ngasih siapa? Enggak, maksudnya gitu. Bayarnya kamu apa gimana? Yang ngasih berapa? Okay, please Bu Ati, can you move forward to give the prize? This is from Yayasan Sahabatku, and the book's title is Profesi Psikologi Itu Seru. Siapa yang mau jadi psikolog? Okay, girls, you want to be psychologist? Okay. Yang tadi pertama, yes, this girl and the one. You got books. Okay. Oh, yang tadi fotoin, Pak. The other 4, ya, yeah. The other 4 mungkin maju semua aja. The other 4, nggak mau? Oh gitu, nggak mau dipoto maksudnya? Oh ya udah di sini. Thank you, everybody. With this, we'll end our show or our meeting. First, I would like to apologize for any misbehave or any mistakes or shortcomings. I hope what we already shared today will be useful for us in the future, for you and also your family. And I hope we can see again in a better condition, inshallah, in healthier condition. Don't forget the message, guys. Don't forget the message. What first? Eat healthy, being active, and then do healthy behavior, avoid bad habits.
Bye.